Hello Internet, this is E. Schrodinger's cat here with another episode of Builder's Dreams on the Iscal85 Patreon server. I did a little bit of work between this episode and the last one, worked out this detail right here. Before, these lines were just lines with this board, with this regular clay border, but now I added these strips here, I added this decal plate up here with this 4-leaf kind of design to give it a little bit more style. Added these straps here because I thought it looked a little bit weird just to have the red flat up there. So I think that helps a lot, and it is subtle enough that it doesn't look too busy compared to this very different colors, complicated design sort of thing that's going on in the background. I also filled in this arch. This is going to be the start of the giant manor building that's going to be up here that I mentioned in the last episode. I am a little bit lost on how to do that and what it's going to look like, and I just don't feel like doing it today, so even though I said that I would do it today, I lied. You fell for it. Congratulations. I did do more work over here with these vines. Brought them all the way across all the hills, so if I take off night vision, effect E. Schrodinger's cat, Minecraft, night vision 0, I have lit up a lot more of this landscape now, so it looks more like the sun is actually a sun that's shining through the clouds onto this terrain, even though it's obviously the effect of these vines that are the glowcrete. It looks more like a landscape and less like I just didn't pay attention to what happens to the light levels when I put stuff in the sky. So today, instead of working on the big manor, which I promised and then lied about, I am going to work on an idea that I had for a outdoor living area, I guess, made entirely out of plants. So I'm going to have chairs made out of leaves and all that kind of stuff. And so the first thing that I need to do for this is to make a platform on which all of this can happen, because right now all of the hills are very hilly, as this is Extreme Hills, and I need a flat area to work on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm using this limestone from Biomes of Plenty, which, by the way, we got Biomes of Plenty in one of the recent pack updates that happened in the middle of the recording of last episode. And we also got cork, we got molasses doors, and a few other bits and bobs to go with it, which added a lot more block choices, which was super nice. But this is the limestone, and what this is going to be is I'm going to add texture details to make it look like reeds. And like I'm gonna have this be a patch of reeds. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I think I want to do that. And I'm gonna come over on this side, the same thing. What I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna take these emerald blocks and I'm gonna come across like here, and this is going to words, talking is difficult. This is supposed to be vines stretched across to create the platform. So I'm going to come through, and I'm not entirely sure the spacing of that. That's something I'm going to figure out off camera, because y'all don't want to watch me put down a curve and then move it and then put it down again and then move it and then put it down a third time. That's just kind of what you gotta do when you're figuring this stuff out, is just try stuff, see how it works, and adjust it as it needs adjusting. And so I'm gonna come across on both angles like that, on both directions. Server, allow. There we go. In both. Ooh, there's a glitch over there in the left-hand corner. Whoa. I'm gonna have them come across both planes on the X and both on the X and Z to create this crosshatch pattern that's gonna support all our furniture. And I think what's gonna happen, what I can do then is add stuff on top of it. Right now, though, these don't look like vines. They look like emerald blocks. So what I can do is, this is chiseled emerald blocks, of course, from Chisel. And what I can do is I can take little chips of the bar out to make it look like it is twisted plant material instead of carved stone. And the trick to something like that is making sure that it doesn't look like anything on the bar, any of these indents and stuff were created to be natural curves. So you want to make sure there's no patterns. If you want to create something similar to this, you want to make sure it couldn't possibly look like somebody did that intentionally, because it's just so random. And what that does is let's assume this were emerald block. It couldn't be chipped away like this without losing all of its structural integrity. The only way something that was this chipped away and twisted could have its structural integrity is if it was elastic and resistant to either it would have to be really strong metal like titanium or steel or something, or it would have to be something that stretches. And emerald, as this block is, doesn't satisfy that criteria. So you are able to trick the brain into thinking that instead of being emerald, it is in fact a plant block. And what can be further done here, and this is all just like off the fly, I'm gonna make this look better, and I'm gonna do all the tweaks and stuff off camera, all the boring hoeing and humming that you don't want to see, because like I know you could still tell that, you know, you could still tell what shape it came from, so I'm gonna do that. But the other thing that I can add onto here is, you see on vines, sometimes they have these little stickouts. I don't know, not really they wouldn't be thorns for this purpose, because you wouldn't necessarily want to use thorned vines for your floor unless you were, I don't know, some kind of masochist, I guess. Don't judge your lifestyle, but you probably, in most cases, would not necessarily want to be injured by thorns every time you want to sit down. So I can add these little nodules, and these will also break up also help with the illusion that it's plants and not emerald blocks. And it's you know, it's starting to come together. It's starting to look like something. So I am going to finish off the platform, get this all figured out so we can come back and start working on the furniture. Did you enjoy the lovely sound of my dog barking in that last clip? Yeah. Whoops. I would re-record, but that segment was 9 minutes, I think, and it was the third time I had recorded it, taken down what I'd done, and re-recorded me building it. So, you know what? Sometimes in life, there's gonna be a dog barking, and you just gotta tough through it all, and you'll come out a better, stronger, barkier person for it. Yeah, one of these days I will develop some semblance of professionalism, but today is not that day. maybe tomorrow, I will one day be a professional. Hopefully. If you're wondering why we're not using the bamboo from Biomes of Plenty for this task to make the reeds, this is why. It looks awful. Now there, in that construction, it actually looks pretty good. You know, about rattling downstairs. I think I like this better than what I was trying to do, which was these curving arms that I've made before. And I think it would look pretty cool if we had these things going down here and curving and having the bamboo all curved like that, but I couldn't think of a good way to do it, and this texture just seemed like the natural way to go, and having it straight up also just seemed like the best way to do it. You'll also notice I added these thingies tying all the stuff together. It's tying the vines together in this grid, tying the bamboo together, and it's still looking a little too man-made, or not man-made, but geometric to me, but I think when we add stuff that will help. So what can be added now is I'm going to try to make a couch out of leaves. And I saw there was this picture that I saw when I googled image. I did a Google image search just for Dr. Seuss plants, because that's kind of the style I'm going for, and it wasn't necessarily, a lot of the images weren't Dr. Seuss related, as Google Images tends to do, but I did stumble upon the image that was kind of the inception for this idea, which was just this, there's these chairs in a circle around a table made of leaves too. It was somebody's hedge garden, and it looked so cool, and I think it really fits the cartoony fantasy, like goofy fantasy style that I'm trying to go for right now. And so what I'm doing right now is what I need is a seat. First I need a seat, and then I need a back for the seat. It's a little hard to work with these things because god damn are they see-through. Jeez, be a block much. And but I think we can come together. I think that's a natural height for a seat, and then I could come back here and add a back to this. And I know it doesn't quite look exactly right. Let's build this all the way up so that it's square, and then we can make it more organic later, just so we can get the couch shape work out. How many is this wide? Oh, this is 2 wide, so I want to bring this through here and make it also 2 wide, so that we can have the shape of the couch in order. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Let's try bringing this back up. Hold on. Let's try bringing the back up, but not the arms. So, I can bring this up here. Oh, Jesus. You know, sometimes I just wish that things would do what I want them to do without me needing to tell them. They just read my mind so that I don't have to think about what could possibly make them do what I want to do. Oh man, this is difficult to see. Okay, I think what I gotta do is I gotta come back like this, and I gotta come right back through. And that should do. I got another one. It's like finding a needle. It's like, oh my good lord. Anyway, that's good enough for now, and that's kind of the design I'm going for. It's a little bit see-through. It's too see-through, I think. So what I can do in that case is I can find a flat colored block of the correct, here we are in the flat colored block section of the creative menu of bits and all that, and I can find a block that matches the color of the couch, which that's not really the color of the couch, but let's just for the sake of our purposes. And I can come through here and I can add it in to look like additional leaves. And I can probably do this with multiple different colors too, to add a kind of gradient. So you still have that see-through effect that the leaves create, but it also, you can see the form. Ooh, geez. Oh, actually. But also you can see the form of the couch. That's kind of coming together. I'm going to work a little bit more on this off camera and see if I can fiddle around with some stuff, and I will get back to you. So I got these two sorted out. Mirrored the couch over here so I can have a sort of sitting area. What I'm going to try and do now to add to these couches is a kind of a seat cover, like, I don't know, something, because, I mean, if you sat on this thing, it'd be pretty prickly on your ass, you know what I mean? So you probably want to have some sort of covering on it so that you don't get needles in places you don't necessarily want them. And also, we'll add detail to the couch as a secondary benefit. And, you know, my motto in life is, if it's good for your ass, it's good for your brain. And so, I think this is going to do us well on our couch here. And if I can just complete this friggin' circle, I can probably just come in here and... No. Boop. No. I get it. There we go. There we go. Nope. Nope. Okay. Now we can try that again. Boop. And through. Oh my god, I'm a mess. You know what? It's not necessarily the worst thing if there's holes in the mat, because it would sort of prick through. But yeah, I mean, we want to make sure that it is looks like a thing. And this is a very flat texture, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna add some variations to it. Like, it's that might not be the right color. Let's go find lime blocks and see if I can get a closer color to that. This is lime 335, so if I come down here to the limes, 338, 339. Oh, there's a bunch of them I can pick from. There's this one, and this one, and this one too. Got a whole family's worth. Isn't that great? So I can come through here and add speckles, like it's, I don't know if it's going to be supposed to be wool, or maybe not wool, but more like moss, maybe? And doing that's having it sort of come together now. You get to see, oh, I like those two speckled together, I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and add it as a carpet to things. I think I'm going to add it on this here, and I think I'm going to add it on the floor too, so as a rug. So I'm going to go do that. And so I have pretty much finished up this area. I added this rug thing that kind of dips and bobs over the various vines. You can see it goes, it has these bumps and the rises as it sort of sinks through the floor here. And I did copy this over. I added this organic moss table with this plant TV, which I think is cool. It's very surreal. It's very surrealist, I think, and I like it a lot. I added these boards here to hold up the table, and this area is kind of complete. The only thing that really needs to be done is I need to get a pathway down to some way to get up here, somewhere to go, but that is gonna have to wait till next episode because this has taken quite a long time. We did all this, this took a long time, the vines took a long time, and all of this. I think we're good for this episode, so I will say good day to you, Internet.